Welcome to Breaking Bread, the place that brings people together around the table. And today we're joined by the CEO of Flydubai, Ghaith Al Ghaith, here at La Canteen. Ghaith Al Ghaith, it's an absolute pleasure having you with us today at La Canteen. Thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
You've been in the aviation industry for well over 30 years. It's over 20 years we're at Emirates. You've been leading Flydubai, immense growth and success that you've had this year. But when you were growing up in Dubai, there was no airline.
I had no idea that I wanted to work in the airline business. You know, there's a saying in the aviation, if you smell the fuel of aircraft, you become addicted to it. For me, I am not like that. It was mainly the adventure of trying to go to places and then very quickly you understand what this monster is that you are creating, because you are connecting Dubai to the rest of the world, and then you know it becomes like a very addictive things to get rid of.
Let's go a little earlier then, before aviation, before joining in 1986.
Yeah.
What was your childhood like? What were your hobbies then?
We grew up like many of the same people in my age or my generation in 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐻. And 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐻 is almost like the capital of Dubai, also it's the center of Dubai. It's 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐻 and 𝐷𝐸RA. So growing up in 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐻, there is a lot of heritage, there is a lot of pride in the place. So you get that, because without family and pride and you belong to something that are very special, you get that from your neighbors. But you know, growing up in 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐻 is like anybody growing, I would say, in the 70s or late 60s, is that there is nothing much. All our life is centered around the sea. You know, we used to have two sea fronts. The actual sea, which is the Gulf or Arabian Gulf, and the creek.
Everything happened in the creek.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like, you know, on the creek, you wake up somebody, there is like a shipwreck, because, you know, coming into the creek, sometimes it's the ships hits the ground and they sank. So that's now becomes exciting, because you will be swimming to retrieve things from the ships.
But you say ships, but these are dhows.
Dhows.
These are wooden
yes,
dhows.
For us, it's a ship,
Yeah.
you know, a dhows. So these are the kind of things you do growing up, and everything centered around the sea during the winter time when it rains. Some people used to go to the desert, but not when we were in 𝐶𝐸𝐵𝐻. I was either too young to do that.
But you would go fishing.
But definitely fishing is almost like almost every day.
What was your first flight ever?
My first flight is that when we were very little, maybe 5 or 6 years old, I went with the family to Shiraz in Iran.
Hi.
Madame, Monsieur, bienvenue à la cantine. Can we start with a bit of bread?
Sure.
Madame, some baguette for you. So, today, in La Cantine as a starters, you will start with some burrata with a chardonnay dressing with a mix of grape and basil leaves. You have here our fried calamari with the spicy mayonnaise on the side. And here, this is one of our best sellers, the honey glazed Wagyu short ribs, slow cooked for 12 hours with a honey glazed dressing, pomelo and grenades. Can I serve you?
The day came where you had to study, and you wanted to study in Dubai. But life had other plans for you, and maybe your brother had something to do with it.
You know, I'm so grateful for my brother. And at that time, it was like, you know, you are going to America. And I said, no, I don't want to go. You know, for me, in the comfort of my mom, God bless her, I lost my father at that time. So she wanted always to, you know, give us an easier life. So she was protective. I said, yeah, Ghaith can stay here. But then when she saw that my brother is not happy. Subhanallah, I say.
Family pressure?
No, it has nothing to do with pressure. It's sometimes you see the light, and again, it's blessing from God. I said, no, khalas, I'll go to America. My brother, being the productive brother, he wanted to send me somewhere where there is no UAE national. So consulting with the embassy, they sent me to Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
A small place.
I know.
Do you remember first impressions?
I wouldn't call it a shock. It was like a good, a different experience that you meet different people, and stayed there for like a few, I would say, 8 months, maybe 6 months, and then I got my English done, and then I moved to Arizona. Ann Arbor being very cold, then I ran away to the warmth of Arizona. So my first impression was, wow, you meet people from, of course, different background, and at that time, because we were doing English, because it was a lot of it, people from different countries rather than Americans, because you had people like from South America who comes to learn English first before they go to university. And there, when we were in Arizona, of course, you get exposed to another culture, especially the Mexican culture.
Madame, Monsieur, sorry to disturb you again. So for the main course, you will go with our special dishes as a crushed sea bass, based with some quinoa, pumpkin, and parmesan sauce. Very good. And here you have our beautiful Australian lamb chops with apricot soya dressing, coming as a garnish, some ginger and spring onion.
How's everything so far?
Nice meal, nice company.
You spent your first international experience in the US, Ann Arbor, and then Arizona, and you came back here maybe with new ideas, maybe a changed man in a way.
When you go to university and you have that experience, it kind of stored inside of you. You really don't know what does it mean. But as you grow, it sort of come up, and then it define your personality, how you work. But at that time, you don't know what is stored.
So what brought you into aviation?
Working with somebody you can relate to. It was like Sheikh Ahmed, so I'll work with him. And then once I started with Emirates, then you start getting the bug.
What was your first position?
I was deputy sales manager of the UAE. So you get that dynamics of what the company is all about. Then I moved into commercial, and we were at that time launching routes into the Far East. So we were launching Bangkok, Singapore, and Manila. At that time, when I was with Emirates, I was doing the most inaugural flights. So I would go practically to all the airline, all the launches. You go to, and you go with different people. So if Sheikh Ahmed was coming for the launch, usually you will get to meet the highest person in the country you go to. So if you're going to, I remember we went to Morocco, the launch of Casablanca. So we went to the Prime Minister of the country. He attended our gala dinner. So you can see how important.
Did you travel with Sheikh Mohammed?
Probably once I was going with Sheikh Ahmed, and he happened to be traveling with Sheikh Mohammed. So we went to Australia. That flight I remember very well, because that was a direct flight to Australia, because we went on the 747, so you can actually fly direct. At that time, we did not have the ultra long range aircraft so if we went otherwise, we would have stopped in the Far East. So I remember that flight. After we launched the Far Eastern, then the opportunity came for me to go to London.
What do you remember from your days in London?
It's just hard work, because it's a big job, as I said. So overcoming and understanding how does it ticks, because when you are the area manager, you are almost the leader of the many facets of what happened in the station. So you need to understand enough to influence, motivate, and move the team forward.
When you're there, do you feel like you're sort of an ambassador?
Definitely, it's an ambassador thing, because when you are at that role, one, you represent the country that you come from. Two, you represent the brand, so you have to work with certain ethics and disciplines, okay, and project the right image. But also you are the head of the group there, the pack, and they look up to you, so you cannot let them down.
What's the most challenging thing when you're a country manager? You were UK and Ireland.
For me, I was at that time a lot focused on sales, because I started transforming how we distribute our ticketings to the many agents. At that time, we started flying, for example, to Hong Kong. So I had to go and convince the biggest Hong Kong seller in the market that it is all right to sell Dubai, to sell Emirates. And that was a nice story because it ties in with what we are doing here, eating, and with the Emirates standard. I remember the guy was not very keen on selling us. So I told him, look, we invite you to come with us on an excursion to 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐽, a horse race in France, where we take a group of agents. And at that time, God bless him, Maurice Flanagan used to come on that trip. So we take a charter, take them to 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐽, and then see the horse race, which is beautiful, and in a nice marquee tent with all the food. So he accepted the invitation. So he came, and I told the guys, the team, don't talk about sales, or don't talk, just let him enjoy the moment. And my God, the magic of the brand and the Dubai effect, he felt royal because the Sheikh were also there, and then the Emirate hospitality. So on the way back, and we were like walking out of the terminal in London, and he said, Ghaith, when are you going to send me your fare list? I said, yes, we did that. So sales was for me is a priority.
When would you say is the pivotal point? When is that moment where you don't have to try to sell Emirates and Dubai anymore, and people are coming and asking you?
We went through a lot in selling Dubai. And then if you go backwards a little bit, and during the day in Emirates, we used to say to people, look, Emirates is a good airline, blah, 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 blah. Yes, we are flying to Dubai. It's an incredible place, duty-free, and all of that. So we used to target people who are transiting, and say, for example, you are going on a holiday to the Maldives. Fly via Dubai, go to the Maldives, and then maybe in the way back, you will stop in Dubai because Dubai has a very good duty-free, nice shopping. So it was like wherever you're going, plus, and not Dubai. So that was the way you used to sell it. After a while, Dubai started becoming its own destination. So along with connecting traffic, you also used to sell Dubai as a destination, a tourist, and for many businesses and all of that. Now, evolve more, because there is a lot of people who live in Dubai. So when you live in Dubai, not only you're going to travel up and down for businesses or seeing your friends and families, people will come back and visit you. Your children will be here, they will be traveling. So the travel business to Dubai have evolved and become now just like any metropolitan, cosmopolitan hub, global city in the world. So now that's why you see the growth in the business, because we are no longer limited to a transit business.
Okay, so you were part of the airline of Dubai, and you enjoyed a full career in this airline. And then one day, I'm guessing you get a call or you get called to the office, and someone's telling you about a new airline. You're offered to basically lead it.
I mean, again, it was His Highness Sheikh Ahmed and Sheikh was saying that, you know, we had this project that we would start a new low-cost airline, and if you want to do it, Ghaith, I remember my first instinct question. I said, Your Highness, this is like Emirates Light? And he said, no, this is going to be a separate company, airline. We incorporated in Emirates, so you can do whatever support. But once it's set up, it has to stand on its own feet. So I said, okay, I'll go and look, review the paper. And I know some background and how this was come about. So I went to the guys who put it together, and we, looked at it. Okay, for me, they did not convince me. I was already sold on the idea that this is going to be almost like a time-defining moments. Don't chicken out, go for it. And I went back to His Highness and said, yeah, I'll do it. And from then, we started.
At the time, were you thinking, yeah, we need another airline to fill in the gaps for Emirates? Or why did you start feeling there's a need for a secondary airline in Dubai?
Definitely that was not how I saw it. As I said, I saw it as a challenge, and I want to do it. And that sort of the vision of the airline, I would say, grew later on into my head and the team that we deployed. I mean, when you do a research paper, or it's just a paper, it's not deep enough. It doesn't tell you much. So we started by bringing everybody together. I mean, from Emirates, so every department contributed a senior person, and we had a group governance for a committee, and then each subcommittees to do certain jobs. Anyway, so we managed, and we roll out a plan of how to start the airline. What do we have to do from A to Z? And then I oversaw this with some executives from Emirates, from each disciplines. And then we started hiring people. Some of the people who came with me from commercial stayed, and then they took a senior job in the company. And the rest we've recruited. And we didn't even have a name for the airline. So the Flydubai name came from, as far as I am concerned, for me it was Fly Emirates, Fly Dubai. And I think the Sheikh likes the name. So that's how we got the name. And then we started building, the proposition, and we're going to fly. I mean, for me, the biggest challenge was, all my life, I was fighting the Emirates corner and selling Emirates and being the most protective person because I am the salesman. And now I have to sell another airline. And subhanAllah, for me, immediately, it's sort of, I got it, And I said, okay, people who would fly on Flydubai want something less, much less than Emirates. If they are flying Emirates, they don't have a choice. But if there is a choice, they will go there. So they are like sitting on the fence. So for me, I rather they come in my lap than go to somebody else. So that's how I convince myself it's okay to sort of compete with Emirates, because you are two different things.
So you're looking at the gap.
Yeah,
Where can you fill the gap? And then connectivity, how you can connect Dubai and the passengers who either come through Dubai or from Dubai to the rest of the world.
Absolutely. And then 8 now or 7 years ago, we started code sharing with Emirates. That when the whole thing sort of happened and made even more sense, because now we're feeding into Emirates and Emirates feeding into us. It's like, it's a fantastic. And of course, also Flydubai has evolved. We started as a low-cost airline with a proposition that did not fit the environment that we work with. Because lots of people ask me why. And the reason is low cost did not work or doesn't work here as good as it works in America or in Europe for two main reasons. One, in Europe, and America is one market.
And you don't need visas.
No, yeah, and yes, your travel is not restricted. But
Yeah.
before you even get to visa, it is one market. So you can open in one anywhere, and it's open sky. You can fly everywhere. Here, on top of borders, there is also restriction. You cannot go to places. The second problem in America or in Europe, if you try to draw the picture of the customer needs, you can draw a picture that, blonde, blue eyes or whatever. So there will be a picture that will fit 80%, 70% of your customer, right? Here, we have so many different diversified customer. One
So
picture,
who is the customer?
yes, and it doesn't fit. And that's why, so that's why I think these two reasons, low cost doesn't work. So we found that we need to focus on Dubai, and we had to be this Dubai airline that one quality-wise service, and we've introduced even business class because you are in the capital world of business here, so people will have a need to travel in business. So that's why we have evolved. So with our revolutions and the connection with Emirates, it's now even more successful than ever. Yeah.
Because you've made that comparison in the past of the Middle East with borders not being the same market as opposed to Europe where you can travel seamlessly. So how do you overcome that type of challenge?
Well, first of all, our government have done a fantastic job because, now the United Arab Emirates residents are visa-free from most of the part of the world. Now, most of the countries in the world have almost a free visa to come to the United Arab Emirates. Mm-hmm. And what we have done in Flydubai, and I think this is something that not a lot of people know about, is that we have managed to introduce a new dimension, which is visa for residents. Mm. And it's a long story, but the story goes like in Georgia, the laws were very good when they used to give visa to everybody in Dubai. Then when they changed the visa regime, for whatever reason, the law drops. So what we did is that when we decided we need to improve the visa access for residents. So we spoke to the people in Georgia, our manager at that time, and we got the right link with the government of Georgia. And then they sent ministerial team to investigate. And the idea was, in the United Arab Emirates, we are very strict about giving visa to our residents. And our residents can travel within the Gulf without visa. So we have a protocol that works for us. Why don't you allow our residents to come to Georgia without visa?
You see aviation or airlines having a really important role when it comes to ease of travel.
We used to say in Flydubai, we challenge the convention. And you have to do like that. And so what happened, and they said, this is remarkable. So the Georgian government, when they audited the standard here, and then they allowed all the residents of the United Arab Emirates to come without visa. Then the business boomed. Now, many countries allow our residents visa because they have residents of the United Arab Emirates. So we challenged that idea, and we changed with the government support. And that's why now access is actually not as bad as it used to be, because something like this. So now all of these countries in the Georgia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, they give the UAE residents access to their country. And this is something what we are very proud of, that UAE resident, no matter what your nationality, you are now can travel freely to all these countries that you wouldn't do otherwise.
So if you look at moments or pillars that have really pushed the growth of Flydubai, what have been these moments that kind of opened things up from a business and
COVID, yes, COVID. And what we did in COVID, first of all, we believed like we should be, everybody on this land believed in the Dubai and the United Arab Emirates ability to recover. So we knew that we will recover very quickly.
It seems that here in Dubai and the UAE, there was this foresight of, no, things are going to pick up in a big way and we have to be ready.
No, I mean, first of all, I personally know it, or the team know it, even the Sheikh knows it, because it happened many times. After 9/11, we boom. After SARS, we boom. After this war, we boom. So we have the track record, but also I think the fact that we trust our country. I personally was captured by the word of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed when he said in Arabic, 𝐿 Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed saying, don't worry, we'll take care of you. But again, this is where you need your leadership. And that's why, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid opening Dubai and said, we are open for business. COVID started in March. We closed down. By June, Dubai opened, and the first tourist flight came on Flydubai from Ukraine. And we in Flydubai, after reducing our cost, deferring our payment, by November 2020, we were cash positive. So we did not need to sort of take much money from our reserve to stay alive. And by the end of, after that, after November, the next year we made record profit. We did not need to take a penny from the government to support during COVID. So we had that sort of mindset. And what we did during COVID, we took a decision to grow. From COVID until now, we doubled our operating fleet. Other people in the world, they could not go back to their 100%, we double in size. And that was based on the confidence that we have, not only in Flydubai, but mainly in our homeland, the United Arab Emirates and Dubai, that things will turn out the way it is right now.
What is the strategy that you credit today for the amazing results that you've had?
That's why, going to all these places that we know that there is demand. In Flydubai, alhamdulillah, other than doubling the size, you have to employ people. We've never delayed, canceled a flight just because we did not have the staff. And you go to the rest of the world, skilled workers are hard to find. Not in Dubai, not in the United Arab Emirates, not in Flydubai. But yes, we had the foresight and the trust that we can count on the United Arab Emirates and we can count on Dubai. Last year, we've opened 17 new destinations. So there are plenty of business. And the brand Dubai now, as I said, they said, you build them, they will come. You fly it, they will come. Amazing place. And never ever in, at least my wildest dream, I ever thought that the brand Dubai and the country, the United Arab Emirates, will be so attractive.
We will finish with our finalized dishes.
Wow.
Our signature is a profiterole. So it's a base with a biscuits, vanilla ice cream, chouchou, whipped cream, and here I have the secret. There's the secret of all of this. Pour le mot de la fin, I would like to say merci, thank you, and I'll let you appreciate it.
Thank you.
Flydubai has transformed and grown tremendously. And I feel that some people still have the mindset or the perception that it's a low-cost carrier. How do you see it?
Well, I see Flydubai is an airline for everybody. And it is an airline of Dubai for Dubai. So it offers people compatible services to Dubai, which is usually very high, and also options for people to indulge in different services. And if also people want to only pay a lower price, they can also have that. Mm-hmm. For example, you can have, you don't have to have a movie, you have to pay for it. Or you don't have to have a meal if you don't want. But if you want, it is all there for you, and you design what you want. We came to this conclusion in Flydubai because we had to evolve and fit to be fit for purpose, to be the airline of Dubai. And this is after 15 years of operation. We are now the Flydubai, the Dubai airline.
What it seems like from maybe a strategic point of view, you're looking more at the business passengers, you're looking at more luxury offerings.
You have to be compatible to what is in Dubai. And Dubai give you all that luxury, all that diversity. And that's what we want to do in Flydubai, represent Dubai as good as we can.
What would you say was a highlight, a moment that you really remember from your career?
Oh, definitely starting Flydubai and building the airline, the team, and hopefully living up to the potential for what Dubai and the United Arab Emirates want to offer its visitors, because that is your legacy, and I hope we did that in Flydubai and can do more now, because I think the next evolution for me is as big as what we have done so far, which is basically now we are entrusted by our shareholders, His Highness, to go to the next level, which is a bigger aircraft, longer range with the 787, and that will be, to me, is as a bigger challenge as starting the airline from all over again.
Really? How come?
Well, first of all, it is elements of the products, the service, the size, the location where we will fly. We are not yet used to. We know we have the ingredients to challenge the convention, as we said earlier, and overcome these challenges. But you have to get it there and do it and be successful. Then you feel you've done your duties. Yeah.
Has the company adapted to the growth?
No, we did. I mean, we doubled our size, as I said to you, since COVID. So we did well. But now we will double again in the next 5 years with the adoption of or the arrival of the 787. So we need now to be even more, I would say, focused, more challenging than we've ever been, because this is a different, I would say, monster or a different challenge. I'm very proud of every single thing that we've done in Flydubai. What we've done since after COVID, to me, sounds a little bit more like what is expected for us to do in Dubai. But yes, definitely doubling the size over the last couple of years or 3 years has to be up there.
And if someone asks you what is the overall objective, so growth when you say doubling the size, but where do you envision Flydubai in the farther future?
Well, I think we have the evolution of the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, will continue. I think we did not touch on the evolution or growth of the region, because the growth in our neighboring countries is huge. And what's happening, for example, in Saudi Arabia would only bring more business to all of us, because, there will be more attraction and more links to the rest of the world for reason for people to come here. So that will grow the business. And I believe that is good. All of the region capitals, if they are even better than what we have here, that is only good for us. So that, I think, will bring in a lot of business. And I think the world will discover more and more to come to Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. And that's where we feel growth will come from.
What is the biggest challenge facing the industry today?
Well, for us here in Dubai, definitely will be the building of the new airport, which is Al Maktoum Airport in Jebel Ali. That will be the next, and that's hopefully will be delivered by 32, will be a big upgrade for capacity, because we definitely need that. Because that will then make it even easier to realize the potential that this place would have in the future. So the capacity, building bigger airport is definitely the thing to look forward to. But the other thing is for us here in this region, this closeness of other countries not having open sky access, that will always be a big challenge for us. If we can overcome that,
Sky's the limit.
absolutely. Really, the sky is the limit.
Ghaith Al Ghaith, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the food. It was delicious.
Thank you. Thank you.